Hey there guys, today we're taking a look at Rainbow Six Extraction running on the AMD RYZEN 9 6900HS. Now this is currently running with the in-game settings set to the lowest graphical settings, which is the ultra low preset, and of course the performance that we're getting here is at 1080p. And overall the performance that we're getting on this benchmark is really impressive. We are well above 60 FPS in terms of 1% lows, and our averages are in the 80s region, with some areas giving us FPS in close to 100 FPS. So that's letting you know that we're actually having a very good time here. Now you will see in the bottom corner there that it has the low VRAM indicator. That's just an issue with the fact that iGPUs technically have only about 256 to 512 megabytes of dedicated VRAM allocated to them by default. The thing is, this chip is also designed to use as much RAM as it needs, so system RAM, it will just use as much as it needs of it for video RAM. So what ends up happening is, while the game will think that we're dealing with low VRAM here, it can pretty much just use as much of the 16 gigabytes of RAM available to it as it wants. And that's where we're almost at 13 gigabytes being used in terms of our RAM just to run this right now. So as you can see, really the performance that we're going to get here is going to be enjoyable for the vast majority of people. Yes, it's at the ultra low settings. Does it really matter at the end of the day? All you're trying to do is play a game here. You're trying to have some fun. You got the full 1080p resolution and you're getting a very smooth experience, especially paired with the 120 hertz display on this laptop. But obviously not every in-game benchmark is going to be accurate to what the experience is actually like to play on the system. So let's jump into some actual gameplay. So as you can see here with some actual gameplay, just doing a random match here, you'll see that the performance that we're getting is very consistent with the levels of performance that we were seeing with the in-game benchmark, which is good to see. And it is one thing that I've noticed that Ubisoft, especially with a lot of their current generation of in-game benchmarks, are very accurate to what the experience is actually going to be like to play the game. That's really what you want to see, because there are some games that will have in-game benchmarks that will do pretty much nothing. They will pretty much just give you some random numbers, and the original Rainbow Six Siege benchmark was very much like this, where it would kind of just give you numbers, but they wouldn't really represent what it would be like to actually play the game. So it wouldn't really be useful for anything more than comparison's sake, which is fair enough, but you would also want your in-game benchmark to actually represent what it would be like to play the game, so that, you know, your users actually know what to expect out of this. And I'm glad to see that Ubisoft has corrected that, and their in-game benchmarks are actually very nice. And one of the reasons that I actually benchmark a lot of Ubisoft games is specifically because they have some best-in-class in-game benchmarks. Because you're way more likely to play this or Rainbow Six Siege than you are to just play anything running on the Heaven benchmark engine. Like, is even any game made with that? I'm not even sure. I know that they license out the engine for it, but I don't know if anyone actually uses it. But getting back to the game, of course, you can see that as I'm playing here, the performance is keeping up. We will occasionally have a drop here and there that goes down to 60 FPS, but everything is just keeping up. When the action gets intense, things will start to drop, but not to the point where you're having a detrimental gaming experience. It's really just to the point where you have enough headroom here where things can get intense and you won't really have to worry about losing out on any noticeable performance while playing the game. And really, that's all you can ask for these iGPUs. The fact that we're actually able to get such great performance out of it. Yes, again, it's ultra low settings, but it doesn't matter. The game looks fine. It plays perfectly. You're gonna have a great time playing this, I promise you. But anyways, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe. I know we just hit 600 subscribers, which is crazy to me, because that means we are thoroughly over halfway to 1,000 subscribers, guys. That is kind of insane to me, like, that we've had such consistent growth. I know the last month has been absolutely brutal. I was going through a lot of shit personally. A lot of that has been dealt with at this point. I'm ready to get back on the grind. It's just taking a little while to actually pick up the pace, because man, I had a solid system going before that kind of just got derailed. But I'm definitely going to try to pick things back up again, and we're going to be seeing a lot more videos released every single day, because I want to get this content out for you guys, because I think you guys have been finding it very useful. So anyways, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys watching, sticking around even when things have gotten tough for me. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.